What is up, guys? It's Cat Food back with another video. Today I'm back with fresh Reddit content. I hope you guys enjoy.
Guys on Reddit, how did a woman ruin her chances with you? I've got a golden one. In college there was this woman I was interested in, seemed pretty cool etc. We hung out a few times, went on a date or two. We'd known one another for about 3 weeks. Her birthday was in that period. I was busy with a lot of midterms, but remembered and sent her a nice message via Facebook. I thought that was good. Nope. The next day on her blog, which she was writing for a class, and had asked me to read beforehand, she writes an angry post quoting my birthday message, and tearing it apart for being cheap and easy, not meaningful, or something like that. Here's the kicker. She ended with a declaration that no one should have people like the one who sent this message in their life. My birthday was a week before hers, and she never even acknowledged it. I took her advice and cut ties then and there. After sleeping with me, she said that she doesn't want to see me again. I did like her though, but I respected her decision. 3 weeks of no communication. I got a message from her saying, "So that's how it's going to be. Don't ignore me." Oh yeah, lady. No. She made me buy her an egg roll from the place next to where we were eating. She didn't want to do it herself because she claimed Chinese people creeped her out. When I asked her why, she said because of Pearl Harbor. Also, she stole my iPod. Was in a bar with a girl I was seeing and some of her friends were there too. She goes up to a random guy and starts making out with him. I see it. Her friends see it. Her friends see that I see it. She starts walking up to me, and 2 of her friends grab her and take her outside. That was the last time I saw or talked to her. I had an ex-friend who we always flirted that line between friendship and the next step. She was great, loved video games, movies and was career driven. I said F it one night and asked her out, and she said that we were too good of friends to risk it. So I left it at that, and we kept hanging out. She wanted me to take her to a strip club and even said she would love to try an amateur night and wanted me to come see her if she did it. She then began dropping more hints and would try to playfully grab my hand while we were out. Then she got her nipples pierced, and once they're healed, showed me and even dropped more hints about other tattoos and piercings I would like on her, or another girl, you know. So again, I ask her if we just gave it a month and tried dating. No ex, didn't have to go that far. Again, she turns me down. Okay, whatever. A few weeks after that I met a girl and began dating her, my now wife. While playing WoW one night, female friend asks me if I were single, would I have sex with her? I told her I tried to just date her, and she turned me down, but I told her yes, if she wanted to, I would have, because I'm comfortable with her, and had feelings for her. She logs for the night. Then a few days later asks me why she has a hard time finding boyfriends, and every guy she likes gets a girlfriend. I ask her again what she means, and she logs off WoW again. Finally, we have an argument one night about something, and shortly after she unfriends me from Facebook and we stop talking. Word gets around to me from mutual friends, and she is upset that I got a girlfriend and she really liked me. I told everyone that I gave her the chance to say yes twice, and she turned me down twice. Moral of the story is, if you like a guy and you hint at it and he asks you out, go with it if it is what you really want. It's happened with a few women, but when they are super flirty with you one day then text you the next day asking for advice about another guy. I get they're doing that to make you jealous and get you to make a move, but nothing turns me off more. Approx 1 month after we started dating, the conversation goes something like this. I like you better than my ex. Me, really, why though? He thought more about himself than about me. Me, how so? He would prefer to buy things for himself before buying things for me. Me, thinking maybe he was buying stupid things like booze or video games. Like what? He said he had to pay for his tuition that semester, and so he couldn't buy me my day gift, so I left him. Yeah, I ran away as soon as possible. Talked about her ex the entire time, and started making subtle comparisons to me. It felt like I was being vetted for a job. She frequently told my female friend / roomer different tactics she needed to use to keep a guy she was seeing interested. They were mostly small things like telling the guy that she was hosting a party, but explicitly not inviting him to join. I want nothing to do with women who think it's good to deliberately manipulate or emotionally abuse their boyfriends. Went on one date with this girl and took her to see Oz the Great and Powerful in 3D, and this is what happened. She ordered nachos with cheese, and when offered jalapenos, began shouting "What's a jalapeno? Jim want to try?" Then she started coughing and choking when she ate a slice of one and shouted, "Ooh, why you gonna put that on him?" "No, don't want it." The cashier and I just looked at each other in disbelief. She ordered an excessive amount of snacks as well. When the film started, she kept taking the 3D glasses off and on and waving her hands around while audibly declaring "It's like it's in my face. Never seen a 3D film before. Effing hell." This caused people to turn around and put their fingers on lips to shush her. I waved apologetically to them. She got up and left halfway through and asked me to go with her. She wanted a cigarette, so we missed a good 10 minutes of the film. During said cigarette break, she asked if I had money for weed. I don't smoke, drink or do drugs. After the film I went to draw some cash out of the ATM. At that point she then shoved her head between me and the machine and said, "How much you got?" "Ooh, nice. I'll have some." I was just annoyed at this point and told her I couldn't lend her any money as I needed it. I dropped my wallet in the taxi and £20 slipped on the floor. She took it and for a solid 2 minutes pleaded with me to could keep it. I said no, obviously. When the taxi dropped her off, she leaned in and said, "Can I give you a call later if I want a takeaway?" I said no, because I had spent a considerable amount of money on what should have been a relatively cheap night out. So she walked off in a huff. For the rest of the journey I told the taxi driver what had happened, and we had a good laugh at what a shit night it was. Never saw her again. When I was younger I was doing not so bad for myself. Paid my bills on time, had a car, job lapped. After about 2 weeks of hanging out with this girl and meeting her brother, he borrowed $5. Not a big deal until A, she gave him my phone number. B, he hits me up asking me for $20 and hadn't even paid the $5 back from when I first met him. C, was befriending my female housemate at the time and would have chats of how she planned on molding me into her dream BF. Buy her expensive things, etc. Was trying to always X unprotected. I noped out of that situation fast. We'd been talking for a few months. Phone calls etc. Agreed to meet up. She was bit bigger than her pictures showed and she said, but W/E she was dope to talk to, etc. I spent the afternoon with her and she was just absolutely dead to be around. She only wanted to speak about herself and how great her friend who she brought along was. I thought maybe it was nerves, so the next day I agreed to meet with her. She turned up late because she met up with someone else earlier and was gonna meet up with them again in an hour for a date. Maybe tryna make me jealous and try harder. Kinda lost all interest that she didn't even explain in a text. She tried talking to me to arrange another date. Told her I was busy for the rest of the week. Never spoke again. About 20 minutes after a considerably large dinner, she straddles me. I told her I wasn't in the mood and I'd probably throw up on her if I was all shaken up. She gets busy, goes to bed, and I wake up to a text the next morning that says, "I think you should stay at your mom's for a couple days." Hooked up with a chick one night and we went out on a couple of dates. Everything seemed cool at first, but then she got super clingy out of nowhere. I was hanging out with some friends without her one night because she was busy with family, and she starts texting me. She asks me who all is hanging out that night and I tell her. She then starts accusing me of being more interested in my friend's fiance and that I should just admit that she's not good enough and I'd obviously rather be screwing my friend's girl instead. Already a huge red flag, but I figure I'll deal with it later. After I tell her to drop it and stop messaging her, she then starts trying to sext me and sends me nudes. While I'd usually be somewhat down for that, right after an argument, while I'm out with friends, is really not the time. I dropped her right after that. When hey, this really isn't working out. You've clearly got issues you need to work on. Didn't work. Blocking her number thankfully did. She failed to mention she had a boyfriend who I had actually met and spoken to a few times. She said she was going to wait until I fall asleep and then cut my hair. When I explained that this wasn't funny, my long hair obviously means a lot to me, she insisted. She seemed very surprised later when I declined to go on a second date. A girl asked for my number at work, and on our first date/hangout we went through the McDonald's drive-thru, and she threw her old drink cup out of the window of the car and into the parking lot right before I stopped at the speaker and laughed as it blew up all over the place. Later on she threw her McDonald's bag of garbage out the window too. I didn't text her again. She told me she didn't believe in dinosaurs and that the world was fine.
Thank you everyone that watched this video. Let me hear what your favorite part was in today's video down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe for more daily Reddit content. Drop a like if you like the video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.